Hey everyone, so this week we are talking about the best and worst writing advice that we've ever received. And so far everyone has done the best writing advice they've ever received, which has been quite helpful. I decided that I would do the worst writing advice that I have ever received in my entire life, and that was quite simple. The advice was this: you're pretty good at this. Maybe you should think of being a writer.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's just going to turn it around after the cut, because that's what he always does. He'll go off on a different topic and be like, lol, guys. That's not really my advice. But, lol, guys, it is. I was talking with Gretchen about this last night. It's Gretchen's birthday, by the way, so tell her very nice things. And we had both basically received the same advice when we started out, and that is, if there is anything else in this world that you can do that isn't your art form, anything whatsoever, if you have a sinking suspicion that you would love to work in an animal sanctuary, do it. Do whatever you can to not make your art what it is that brings you in money. And here's why. Remember last week when I was asking how do you separate yourself from your work? That gets really, really tricky when money starts getting involved, because suddenly you're not just creating for yourself. I mean, yeah, we all have this like happy bunny idea that we're writing because we love to write and we want to create things. And yeah, that's true. But I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't spend 5 hours a day sitting in front of a computer watching my friends play outside if I wasn't hoping to have some sort of monetary response to that. And having your art form be a form of payment means that suddenly you aren't the one who's really judging your work anymore. You are. You still have that aspect of looking at what you're doing and saying that this makes me worth it. Like this story that I just wrote is really fantastic and I love it. And that's all that matters. But then you have to start pitching it around. You have to send it to agents, and then they have to send it to editors. Someone else is out there saying just how much all of that time and sweat and pain and heartache you put into that project is worth. Is that worth a 5-figure advance? Is it worth no advance? Is it worth a 6-figure advance? Who knows? But that's someone else's decision. That's not yours anymore. And so unless you have a way of stepping back and saying, this is what it's worth to me, what it's worth to the world is an entirely different beast, you're screwed. I've talked to people who have had the overnight successes and those who've built up their fame, and for all of them it's the same. As you go on, you get more pressure to produce more, to produce better, and not only that, but you're in this constant fight with yourself because you're an artist, so you're always improving your craft to keep getting better. There's no rest. There's no end point. You might have a goal in your head of, yeah, I just want to sell one book. But then you'll sell that one book and you think, actually I want to sell 5 more books. And I want them to be an epic fantasy series, each longer than the Wheel of Time entire set combined. You're never going to end. Ever. So my advice is, if you have a way of getting out, if you've gotten to the end of this video and you're like, that sounds pretty horrible, I think I'll take a job where I get, a weekly income no matter what, do it. But if you've gotten to this point and there's something in the back of you that's still burning and saying, oh, you have laid gauntlet down, sir, and I am picking it up. I will prove to you that I've got what it takes to be a writer. My friend, there is absolutely no help for you. You are a writer, and you can't be saved.